here. Today I'm going to be showing you how I prep my nails to last 4+ weeks. And yes, they really do last that long. And also, at the end of the video, I give you a tip on how you can prevent lifting on the free edge of your nail, because that was something that I had problems with like forever, but I think I finally found out the secret to making sure that it lasts a long time on the free edge. Because whenever I do my nails, I do a gel overlay, so that means like all my nails are my natural nails. They're not like tips or anything. And because of that, sometimes the natural nail underneath all that product, it will sometimes like bend underneath and separate from the product. But I show you how to fix that in this video. Also, all the products I'm using will be linked in the description. Let's begin. Before I begin my prep, I'm starting with my nails that look like this. I just took my e-file and I just drilled down all the product that I had for my previous manicure. So now I just have like 10% of that product left on my nail, but pretty much I removed a lot of the product. And if you're starting with your natural nails, this is going to be the step that you would start on. But since I had the previous manicure, I went ahead and removed that. Today I am using my e-file for prepping because I have one and I know how to use it, so I'm going to use it. But if you do not know how to use an e-file, I would suggest doing a little more research on it before you start using it, because you can damage your nail with an e-file. So if you don't really know what you're doing, I suggest learning a little bit. Also, if y'all are interested in e-files for beginners, let me know and maybe I'll make a video about that in the future. The drill bit I'm using is an arbor band, and this is just a little metal bit that has these little sanding bands that you could put on the bit and you can like take them off. They normally come in a big package, sanding bands, and this is just your pretty standard bit that you can use for a lot of different purposes. And I'm just gonna take that and I'm just gonna go over my nail, and my goal here is just to try and smooth out that nail as much as possible, but that's because I had the previous product on my nail. Again, if you're starting with your natural nail, you just want to take this drill bit and just buff the surface of the nail, because you just want to try and remove the shine of your nail. You don't need to really do too much because you do not want to drill into your natural nail a lot. So just kind of buffing the surface is what we're really looking for. But for me right now, I'm just taking that and I'm smoothing the transition between the previous product I had on my nail and my natural nail bed, as you can see here. So once I smooth out my entire nail bed, I am now going to shape my nails. These are my natural nails, and every single time I do my nails, they grow out too long for my liking. They are very beautiful long, but for me, I prefer shorter nails because they're easier to work with. So I'm going to file them down and refix the shape. And I do a round kind of almond shape, and to do that, I'm just going to take my file and I'm just going to file it down till I like the length of the nail, and then I'll go ahead and shape it. I also already did my nails on my right hand before I started filming this, so I'm just using that as a guide to make sure I get my nails perfectly even. So once I'm happy with the length of them, I'm then going to go ahead and shape my nail. And I really don't have any tips for shaping the nail because I still don't really know what I'm doing, but I'm taking down the corners of the nails and just kind of just shaping it till I like it. And I just try to make them all even and look uniform. And this is the part where I get pretty picky, because if one nail looks off, the whole nail set is ruined. You need patience for this part if you are a perfectionist like me. But once I finished shaping my nails, I was pretty happy with them. Nothing terrible happened, so that's good. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to be doing cuticle prep. And now this is the part that is very important, because if you do not do any cuticle prep, you're most likely going to have lifting, and you don't want that. So I'm just taking my little scrubby brush and I put some rubbing alcohol in the brush, and I'm just brushing off powder and cleaning my nails before we begin with the cuticles. Again, I'm using my drill bit to do the cuticle prep. I'm using this bit and it's called a flame bit. I believe that's what it's called. If you have a lot of cuticles stuck to your nail, then you can push back your cuticles before you begin with using your e-file, but I really don't have that much cuticles, so I normally don't push back my cuticles before I begin with filing. So if you need to, push back your cuticles. So with the drill, I'm turning it on and seeing which way it is spinning. Now, as you can see, it is spinning this way. So that means that when we put this on our nail, we're going to be going the opposite way that the drill is spinning. So we're working against the drill pretty much. Also, whenever you're using this drill bit, you do not want to like go into your nail like this. You want to keep this parallel to your nail bed, because you don't want to be drilling holes into your nail bed. I don't think that's good. I'm just taking it and I'm just going along the cuticle line, being very gentle and buffing off the sticky cuticle that's stuck on the nail. I don't have too much, so you don't really need to do too much drilling here, because we still need to be very gentle with our nails because we do not want to damage our nail plate. I normally just do enough drilling on that one side till I don't see any more of those little dusty pieces coming off the nail. And I also am not putting too much pressure on the nail, so just being gentle with it is very important. So once I finish finished with that one side of my nail plate, I then go ahead and reverse my drill, and as you can see, it's spinning this way. So now I can do the other side of the nail. You do this because you want to be working it against the way the drill is spinning when you do each side. So again, on that same side, we're going to do the same thing, just very gently drilling the nail bed, not too much, till you get all that like little cuticle, sticky cuticle off. Also, if you have a big flap of cuticle like on top of your skin, you can go ahead and take some little clippers and cut that off if you need to. I just had a little piece here, so I just went ahead and cut that off. I normally don't do too much like cuticle trimming or anything because I typically don't have much, but if you have some, you can go ahead and cut that off if you need to. So I'm just doing the same thing on each of the nails, making sure that I'm working against the drill when I do each side of the cuticle, and just being gentle with the nail because you don't want to damage the nail plate. So once you finish all of your cuticle prep, I then like to go ahead and take my little scrubby brush again with the rubbing alcohol and just scrub down my nails once again to get all the dust off. And also the rubbing alcohol helps dry out your nail plate, which is a very important step when prepping your nail. And then also another thing I like to do is just take like a little piece of paper towel and put that rubbing alcohol on the towel and then just wiping my nails. So that way I get every little corner, making sure everything is nice and dehydrated. Now, I don't use a primer or anything like that. I have in the past, and I found that for my nails, personally, my nails will last longer if I don't put a primer on, but your nails could be different. I think this is a very personal thing. If you are still having troubles with lifting, maybe try finding a primer because maybe your nails need that, but for me, my nails don't need it. I always do a gel overlay whenever I do my nails. Prep is pretty much the same for any type of product you're going to end up using, except I do think that the primers are different for acrylic and gel, but besides that, the prep. For my gel overlay, I'm going to be using Builder Gel in a bottle, and I'm using the brand Beetles. It's linked in the description just like all the other products, and I have 2 videos on my channel already on how to apply Builder Gel that goes more in depth than what I'm about to show you here. So if you're curious about watching that, those will be in the description. But I'm going to start with my base coat, and I'm just going to apply a thin coat of that onto every single one of my nails, making sure that I cover the whole nail bed, and then I'll just go ahead and cure that in the lamp for 30 seconds, and then we can apply our Builder Gel. The color Builder Gel I'm using today is going to be DO56, and I'll have a link of the specific color, and I absolutely love this color. It is like the perfect pink. It's very pretty. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to apply something called a slip layer. Now this layer is just going to be a thin layer on your nail. You're going to paint this on kind of like a base coat, and then we're not going to cure this because this is going to act as a mat for when we apply more Builder Gel on top. So with this layer, you can get real close to your cuticles and your sidewalls, and you can make sure that this layer looks perfect. And then you're going to come back with a bigger blob of that Builder Gel onto your nail, and you're going to flow it like this on your nail. And you want to keep this kind of in the center because that's what's going to make a good structured nail. And also, whenever I'm flowing it on the nail, the brush is not touching the nail plate. I'm just kind of flowing it, if you can see here. Now this takes a while to get good at, so take your time with this. I've gotten pretty good to where I don't need to do any filing after I cure it. And also, I prefer to spend more time on the application process rather than filing afterwards. And so that's why you'll see after I finish curing my nails, I don't do any filing. But if your nail is a little lumpy after you apply your Builder Gel, you can do filing afterwards. Also, another tip, if the Builder Gel starts kind of flooding out kind of towards your cuticles and stuff and it gets a little thick in that area, what you can do is that you can actually flip your hand upside down, and that's going to bring that Builder Gel back to the center of your nail where you want it, because we kind of just want gravity in the gel to kind of work with you, so don't really work against it. It'll go where it wants to go. You really just want to guide it. And once I'm happy with the placement, I then go ahead and cure that in the lamp for 30 seconds, and I'm working on each nail individually, so after I finish one, I'll go ahead and immediately cure it, so that way the Builder Gel doesn't move while I'm working on another nail. And that's about it. There's a basic guide on how to do Builder Gel. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that on all my nails, and then I'll show you my last and final tip. Once you've done all your nails and they're all cured, so they're all nice and hard, there's going to be a sticky layer, like a little taggy layer that's going to be on the gel. I've gotten quite a few questions about the sticky layer and like why it's there, because sometimes some people confuse it with it not being cured all the way, but that is just what happens when a lot of different gels are cured. They just have this sticky coat on top, and you can wipe it off if you need to, like if it gets dirty, because sometimes fuzz will get stuck on it. I normally do just wipe off that sticky layer just so nothing sticks to it, because it's kind of annoying. So that's what I'm doing here. The only type of gel that doesn't have tacky coat is normally top coats, but typically a lot of gel products will have a sticky layer. Now, here's the tip you've been waiting for. If you have problems with lifting like on the free edge and stuff, but you're also like capping your edge and you're still getting lifting, let me show you what you need to do. This has been like one of the best things. What you're gonna do is you're gonna take your file and then we're going to file the side of your nail like this, like on the bottom. So that way we're filing the natural nail that's underneath the builder gel like this. And what that is doing is, I'm gonna have to show you visually. So here we have natural nail bed, we have builder gel we place on top like this. Now this can easily split since we have the 2 layers, and lifting can occur pretty easy. Like this would be pretty easy to split, but whenever we take our file and we buff down the bottom layer, it's gonna kind of look like this. And we're gonna have a lot of that builder gel like on top. And since the builder gel, when it cures really hard, harder than your natural nail bed, it's also gonna make that tip stronger. So by filing down the natural nail bed, you create something that kind of looks like this. And this is harder to split if you have like a little bit of a space here, because like that's not gonna split too easily. And also, of course, this is a kind of a thick example and it would be like more smooth, but that's essentially what we're doing on your nails. So with that file, you just really want to try and file down that natural nail underneath, and you can kind of see where you're filing it, but you really can't, and that should help your lifting on your free edge. So I'm gonna do that to all my nails. I hope I explained that well enough, because I'm not very good at explaining things. But as you can see, I'm kind of like filing that natural nail like this. And then that tip is the gel that we put on there. You can kind of see it a little bit better here. See how we're filing that natural nail? You also don't need to file too much because it could, you know, alter the shape of your nail, like the way it's shaped. But anyway, there's all my tips on how you can prep your nails so that way they will last forever, pretty much. I try not to go too long in between nail sets, but you know, sometimes I don't really want to sit down for 2 hours to do my nails, so sometimes it's like 5.5 weeks till I do my next set of nails. But I never really have much lifting by the cuticle and stuff, so that means that my cuticle prep's good. And then of course the edges will chip depending on how rough you are with your nails. And I'm pretty rough with my nails. I use them as tools all the time, and I know you shouldn't. But yeah, that happens. And now it's time for some designs. I ended up doing this beautiful purple flower design, and I am just obsessed with the way these nails turned out. I don't think I've done a prettier design than this, and I've done some pretty designs in the past, but I am just a big fan of these beautiful little flowers. I also added a little gold stripe in between the 2 flowers on the accent nails, and I think they're so pretty. All right, everybody, that is all my tips for prepping your nail and making sure that your nails last forever, because we don't want lifting. Because sometimes that can peel other layers of your skin and damage your nail plate, and we don't like that here, okay? We do not like damaged nail plates. We want healthy, long, strong nails. And also, I am obsessed with this design. It is so beautiful. Anyway, if you found this video helpful, make sure to give this video a like and comment down below if you have any more questions. I'll do my best to answer them. And also, don't forget to check out our website and subscribe on your way out. Bye! This video is sponsored by Aisle 21 Beauty, my own brand. You should go shop. These literally are the best product ever.